Welcome back to Any Percent. I forgot what I was going to say for the intro, but we are America's #1 video game analysis podcast that was formerly bi-weekly and is now monthly. That's what it says on the plaque. My name is Evan Sampson. I am your host, and I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts, Kody Mosley.
What's up, Evan? Looking
What's up,
great
dog?
as always, my man.
Oh, thank you.
Are those new glasses?
They are. I think I had them the last episode, but maybe I didn't.
Sorry.
It's okay if you didn't notice. I mean, it only hurt a little, you know. And Casper Karen.
How's it going, guys?
What's up? And today we have a lovely guest for the third time, I want to say. We got Joe.
Howdy. Good to be back. Good to be here.
Yeah, we like having Joe around.
The return of
He's
Joe.
a good man. Return of the Joe.
And you guys keep showing me good roguelikes to play, so I'm pumped about it.
We gotta stop playing
right.
roguelikes. We're like addicted to roguelikes.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that beforehand. Like you kind of play a lot of the same games, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I feel like we're like very standard, like 20-something-year-old dudes playing like this, like I want to kill stuff kind of games.
You like
For
what
sure.
you like.
Yeah. All right, boys, let's catch up. Casper, what are you playing for video games, my man?
I played quite a few. I think I was telling you guys last time, or I don't know, a while ago, about this game Breath of Edge. It's like a space Subnautica type game.
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
a comedy. Yeah, so I actually beat that one. And that game was, I liked it a lot, but it was also really bad. It's broken into like three parts, where the first part is Subnautica in space, and like that part is fine. It's pretty good. And then you get to the second part, and it's just you flying from in a ship from space station to space station, going down long empty corridors where there's like nothing. Just to get to the end of the corridor, you gotta build something to run back to your ship where like the crafting machine is, and then run back to the corridor.
Okay.
It made no sense because.
So is it supposed to be a parody of like fetch quests? I mean, like, was that supposed to be the joke?
I'm pretty sure this whole game was just the developers screwing with anyone who played the game. Because in the very beginning, in order to progress to the story, you actually have to, one of the first things you have to craft is crap imposed by the developers. Like, that is the name, and it does nothing. Like, half the stuff you do in the game just doesn't matter. Like, you have to lower radiation in the first act, and one of the rooms you finally get into, it shows you, like, on a board, the menu, and you have to, like, go into the settings, and then click the lower radiation button.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I don't even know if it was there the whole time or not. But like the game was strange. The story was you were like on a funeral cruise liner and it crashes, and you're like trying to, you know, get back home. But there's like this I don't even know how to, robot coffins, right? Because it's a funeral. But the coffins are robots that are using the bodies in the coffins for energy. And there's like an evil AI that's
so like Matrix, like kind of thing?
Kind of, but
human batteries.
Yeah, the human batteries, and there's like this evil AI that wants to wage war against humanity for some weird reason. The story is insane.
Yeah.
So what did you like about it if you think it's a bad game?
I liked a lot of the dumb jokes and stuff, and like it looked great.
Was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
The gameplay itself though was bad. Like it was just boring, because the first act was fine, and then after that it kept all the survival elements, but it was like a shooter, but there was nothing to shoot. It was just like walking from corridor to corridor. At the end of the game, you like get knocked out for a second, or what was it exactly? It was something like you crash. It's like a dream state, and you crash land in the planet, and they 1-to-1 recreate the Subnautica crashing into an ocean planet cutscene. in the opening of that game for some reason. Like it was a great cinematic, but
It seems like
just
a very
copied
niche
it.
joke to make. Like, we're gonna make fun of this one game that is like pretty popular, but frankly not that popular. It's not like making a parody of Fortnite.
In the
You know, like,
Yeah, in the second act, there's an alien isolation part where there's like
yeah.
this cow xenomorph hunting you down. Yeah, the game was just all over the
why
place.
do I feel like this was made by like Australian people? I feel like this appeals to them specifically. What's it called again?
Breath Edge?
Breath
All
Edge.
one word.
Yeah, one word. Yeah.
So it sounds like
Oh.
it's trying to break like the fourth wall, kind of like a Stanley Parable or whatever.
Yeah, it was the
But-
studio's first game, I think. Like, I hope
Right.
they make more games because there's a lot about it I liked. I just hope the gameplay is fun in the next ones.
Yeah, I mean graphically it looks cool just from like the Steam page. You know what I mean? Just like the screenshots they have there.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not like the worst game ever, but Act 2 and Act 3, which were pretty much the same thing, weren't that great. I mean, it ends with, oh, I forgot. There's Babe, which is just like this. There's someone texting you throughout the whole game, and their name is just Babe, and it's just like a picture of boobs. And it's like
okay.
it's like a
It's like dude bro shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And it's like a spam bot, right? It's like, oh, hey, so sexy. Why don't you become irradiated? Because it's like trying to kill you the whole time, and you find out it's one of like the robot coffin AI robots. But then after
Okay.
that, you find out that there is an actual Babe. And you're like, that's how the game ends. You are able to hyper drive to Earth with Babe, some lady. I don't know. The game was insane.
So would you recommend it?
No. I mean, I didn't. I played the whole game, but but yeah, no, I would not recommend it. I hope they
It
make
is
another
a
game.
Russian company.
Oh, it's Russian.
And
Okay.
it looks like they haven't done anything since Breath Edge.
It's a
Right.
recent game, I think. So,
2018 it looked like.
oh yeah, okay. They could be maybe working on something.
Doing
I don't
something
know.
else, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of indie studios just make like one game and then kind of disband, you know.
Yeah, if the game doesn't do
It's
well, I don't think this one did.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'd
Um,
certainly never heard of it.
Yeah. What else? I played Axiom Verge. I don't know if
Oh,
you guys
nice.
heard about that. Yeah, it's just
I,
Super Metroid, pretty much.
Yeah. I work with a guy who's the developer is his cousin, which was just weird. He just like
really?
dropped it on me one day and I was just like, huh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm like, can I get like Steam keys for like Axiom Verge 3 or whatever, like before it comes out, please?
I like the game a lot. It was a solid game.
Made
I
by
don't really
one
have-
dude, right?
Yeah, I think so. Which is pretty
Yeah, it
impressive.
is just one guy. I think he had, some like support throughout it, but it is just like a solo dev.
Right. Yeah.
Metroidvania, right?
Yep. It's
Nice.
just a solid game. Like, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. If you like Super Metroid, you're probably gonna like this game.
Yeah.
Like the set pieces were really nice. Like I don't know if you guys seen like the head.
Yeah, that's like the kind of key art for it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
key art, like all of that stuff. The end game boss was pretty cool and stuff. You get like a ton of weapons. There's like 20 weapons or something in total. It's just crazy, all the different stuff.
Nice.
I
What
feel
else?
like he was at the guy who developed it was at PAX East. I feel like one year. I feel like
Oh,
I
really?
talked to him,
Probably.
and he was
He
just-
was promoting, the second one, like
yeah.
a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
think.
Yeah, that might be total bull. I met someone. There was an Axiom Verge booth. I don't remember if that was the dude or not. Nice
Yeah.
guy.
Whoever you talk to. Yeah.
Whoever you're talking to was really nice. Yeah.
I played Backbone. It's an indie game. I got it on that like Ukraine bundle. It's
I have to look this up because I think
It's
I
like
know
a
what this is.
noir-
Is it a furry game?
yeah.
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 It's like a new. You play like a detective. It's a noir type, like what's going down in the city. It's all just not destroyed. It's all like run by gangs and like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. And it's good. I liked it. But my only problem with it was that it had like two major plot points that they never really finish. And like they go from the first major plot point into the second one without really finishing the first one.
Interesting.
Oh.
And like it doesn't.
The story doesn't wrap itself up well.
Yeah. And then it ends in like a what do you think happened type ending, which I don't mind all the time, but the fact that they didn't wrap anything up is just kind of like, I don't know. It's a cool game. If you get it on sale, like I would recommend it.
It's like a point and click, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's just walking around talking to people.
Yeah. I am usually turned off by furry games a little bit.
There's an
But
explanation.
I'll play that one.
There's an explanation in this one for why they're animal.
Yeah. I mean, I played
anthropomorphic.
Mutant Year Zero, so I can't talk, you know.
Yeah. Oh man,
What's the reason?
do you want me to tell you? It's kind of like when you find out.
Oh yeah, no, all right, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. I'll check it out. Put it on the backlog.
Yeah, I mean, my main reason for like continuing to play this game is just because I wanted to know like why this stuff is happening. Like the prologue chapter, like that's what gets you hooked into the game. Like it ends on like this. Actually, you can play it for free too. The prologue.
Oh, cool.
It's like a demo that you can download on Steam, I think.
I
This
see
is
here.
not
Yep.
sponsored.
Prologue install game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, play the prologue. If you like the prologue, I was gonna say you like the rest of the game. There's like sneaking elements and stuff that they just never use again. Yeah,
It's
no,
like not
that's
fleshed
nuts.
out. Interesting. Yeah.
that's the problem. The demo that they show off, it gets really good, but that's also almost the best part of the game.
So it's like very front loaded. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of
That's tough.
disappointing, but oh, and then I played actual Subnautica Below Zero, like the
Oh,
second.
nice.
And that game is like if you played the first Subnautica, same thing. Just it actually kind of felt more like DLC than its own game.
That's
I
what
thought
I've heard.
I literally thought it was, so I'm surprised to learn that it's not.
Yeah, no, it is its own game. There's a lot to it, but but I think the first one was probably better, which is a little disappointing. But it was still a good game.
That's what I hear from a lot of people, that they prefer the first one, and the second one's just a bit of.
Yeah,
I think I heard somebody say like they got bored because it's just like more of the same, and it's like, okay, I was hoping for
Yeah.
something new and more different, I guess.
Right. And if you
It's
speed
cold
run through
now,
the...
Joe.
Right. And it's like if you played the first one, it's at however many hours, and it's like, okay, now it's just literally, maybe more of the same. So
like the second one has like you can build vehicles in the game. Second one has a sea truck, which is really cool because it's like segments that you can interlock and drive instead of like the.
Oh, we lost Casper.
Wait.
Yep.
He's back.
Oh, okay. But it's just like segments.
Lost it for a second.
Technical
Trust the recording.
difficulties.
Wait, am I still lost or are you guys?
No, you're
No,
good.
you're good.
good.
You're
Okay.
back. You're back.
Okay. The where'd you guys lose me on?
Sea trucks.
It's
Sea truck? Okay.
yeah, sea trucks.
Okay. Sea truck, it's like the submarine, but it's like interlocking segments that you can like customize.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice. So you
Which
can
is-
be like a big snake.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. But I really like the submarine. Like it was just a really cool original vehicle. Like it's just like this huge thing. There's like this AI voice thing that talks to you when you're
You're a big
controlling
fan
it.
of playing games with AI voice things.
Yeah. There was more to the vehicles too. Like in this game, there's like those big Leviathan creatures that will attack you and like
Sure.
grab your ship. In this game, in the sea truck, like you just like stop controlling it, and the Leviathans just forget who you are, and they get confused and they just kind of like go away.
So it's like the AI sucks, you think, or like what? What's the explanation there?
I think it's like when you take control of the sea truck, it becomes you. And as soon as you stop taking control of it, it becomes like its own environment.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're not in the same environment as the
Lost him
Leviathan.
again.
Where was I?
Talking about
Right. So the reason I like the submarine better in the first Subnautica is that you actually don't have to be at the helm. Like it will just keep going.
Right.
Right. And there's like more features where like a scanner and like scans the whole area, because in the original Subnautica, it's kind of a scary game. Like it's dark. Right. You can't see anything. You have to have like scanners and like multiple cameras and lights to like travel through the game. In Below Zero, it's really bright. Like everything is lit up, even when you go all the way down to like the bottom, there's just like plants lit up everywhere. It's just kind of boring towards the end, and it just ends.
Right, like even tonally, it's like so different than the first one that it's.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it for me.
Nice. That's a lot of games, bro.
chunk.
June's been busy
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Good month.
Yeah. Why don't we turn it over to our guest, Joe? Joe, what have you been playing? What have you been watching? What have you been doing? If you haven't been playing video games, you know.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of the opposite. I haven't been playing tons of games at the moment. I'm playing mostly Minecraft. That's the big one.
Nice.
That's definitely at the top of the list. The new update. I've done actually very little with the new update. In it, like I just kind of started playing Minecraft again eventually, but I've got like there are new frogs in it, so I went and grabbed some of the new frogs and that sort of stuff.
You say new frogs? Does that mean there are old frogs?
Yeah, there's just like a default frog, and now like every biome I think has like its own frog type. So if you like hatch a frog like in a desert biome, it will be like desert colored, and so I'm just kind of like collecting. I'm collecting frogs in Minecraft.
Nice.
Which, sounds really weird when I say it out loud, but it's what I'm doing. That Sweet. And then Void Bastards is the other one that I'm playing, and a secret third game that once we get into Void Bastards, I'll announce it.
All right, I got you. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, dear listeners, get ready for this morsel of a surprise from Joe.
Big surprise. But yeah,
Kody,
Sweet.
What about you?
I've been playing a lot of Overwatch 2. I'm sure Joe, a couple of your roommates, I better into it right now. They're having their second beta right now. And
sure.
It was like slipping into a pair of old underwear that's all worn and you know what I mean. You should probably throw it away. Yeah. But it just it's just my comfort underwear, right? It's just
doesn't matter how much it stinks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What kind of underwear you gotta?
Let's not talk.
But yeah, so enough of it has changed from Overwatch 1. For those that aren't familiar, they got rid of one of the tanks, so now it's like a 5v5 instead of 6v6. And they've also reworked a bunch of characters, added a bunch of new maps and stuff. It is like, I will say, like a couple of years too late. You know what I mean? There was a point there where Overwatch players were like, please give us content, please. And they just left in the dark for like 3 years. But now that it's out, dude, it's a lot of fun. It's something comforting, you know what I mean? Just takes me back. Everybody's online, you just join a party and everybody's just playing Overwatch.
Is 2 going to be free to play?
It is, yeah. It's going to be free to play, battle pass, that whole thing, all the modern
big sigh
monetization.
Yeah,
I will say, like I like that better than like loot boxes or whatever, you know what I mean? Because it's all optional.
They removing loot boxes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yep.
Oh.
So it's like the way things are, right? Like Apex does it, Valorant does it, all the games do it. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you at least happy with Overwatch 2, or is it just kind of like they've done a lot all this time, this 3 years. They've been reflecting, it feels like, right? And they're like
3 years, isn't it way more than 3 years?
Since like substantial content or whatever.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So they're looking inward, right? And they're, hey, what's wrong with us? And then they're trying to fix it.
Maybe I'm the common denominator.
Right.
Me, Blizzard.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess in a couple months, in October is like the full release of the PvP. And then the single player stuff, which has been a big push for them, that'll be like later. So
do you have to pay for that?
Yeah.
So that will be paid. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much it'll be. I don't know, but
probably a full price game, I reckon, honestly.
Yeah, and like from what it sounds like they're gonna try to make that worth it. Because I know like the lore and stuff has always been, the part that everyone likes the most about Overwatch, right? Like all these characters that you enjoy finding out about, but they just don't release like any lore like at all. It's like kind of a joke.
Yeah.
So
it's the Dark Souls approach.
Right. Kind of. Yeah. But that's like in the world, right? Like in this one, it's just you get like a new voice line like every now and then or whatever.
I like the videos that they produce. I've never played Overwatch, but I love the videos, the little shorts, I guess, that they put out that are like heavy into lore, I guess, but that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they with the drop of this new beta, they also did another short, like you're mentioning, Joe, the animation.
Oh, cool! I should look that up.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's with the new character. So yeah, that's what I've been spending most of my time. Other than that, it's been like, I don't know, watching a bunch of nerdy Marvel and Star Wars shit, because that's always yep. And I'm also watching The Boys. I don't know if anyone else has been watching The Boys.
Yeah, my house is watching The Boys right now.
Season yet.
It's good. It's really good.
Yep, it's solid.
Don't spoil it, because I gotta watch.
No spoilers. No spoilers. I'll keep my mouth shut. Next episode's the last one, right, of the season?
I think you're right. Yeah, so I'm trying to catch up.
Oh, sweet! I'll just binge the whole thing.
Yeah, I think 7 episodes, maybe something like that.
Yeah, 7.
I don't know.
7 or 8.
I don't
I
know.
can't remember which one's
No clue.
which one's it on, but I don't know if you guys. There's a big orgy, I guess. I don't know if that'll demonetize us, Evan, but look forward to that. I haven't gotten there yet.
You can't bring up orgies, dude.
You're not at the Hero-gasm yet?
Damn it.
There's 2. I'm on episode 4, I think. So I'm
I was about to say there's 2 orgies, and I was like, 2 orgies per season, dog. Like,
yeah. All right, we should move on from this topic, because I'm too tempted to talk about it. I'm all caught up, and I'm worried I'm going to spoil you. Because seriously, it is good. The next 3 episodes for you, Cody, are going to be good.
Nice,
good.
dude.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
excited.
just leave it at good.
I'm excited.
Good.
Yep.
That's pretty much it, Cody?
That's it for
So
me,
you've been
dude.
doing?
Yep,
Nice. All right, I'll try to go quick. Let's see. I have had very little time to play video games. Lots of like summer activities, hiking and stuff. Lots of hiking, just being outside. But when I have had time, like right at the start of June, I got pretty into RimWorld. I played like 40 hours of RimWorld over a couple weeks. So it was pretty fun. It's a good game. It's like a colony sim. I don't know if I talked about it in the last one or not, but it's a cool game. And that's like it for video games. I started playing or watching Attack on Titan. I got caught up on Attack on Titan to the current season, or like finished the current season. I don't know. You guys haven't watched that, right? You guys aren't anime heads.
I've watched everything but the last season.
Yeah. I read ahead because I was like, well, if they're gonna like make me wait 6 months for the actual end of this thing, I'm just gonna read ahead. So
yeah, fair enough. They spent the entire animation budget for that season on the last like 2 episodes.
Oh really?
The last 2 episodes look so good, and the rest looks so mid. But it was a nice ending for whatever the first half of the final season. No, this was the second half of right? Because they'd already done the half thing, and then they're like, "Oh, there's gonna be a little bit more," and now they're like, "Oh, there's gonna be a little bit more again."
Yeah.
Wait, so
and I don't like that. That annoyed me.
I didn't actually know that. I thought this was the end, like the final part 2.
Everybody did.
No, it
Everybody
ends on a cliffhanger.
Why do they call it the final? Like,
well, because the first part of it was the final season. This part's still the final season, and the third part will still be the final season.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I know. They're really just dicking us around.
That's awesome.
Good show though. Good show.
It's good. It is.
Yeah.
Cool,
Even if you're
though,
not
to
into
do that
anime,
to
I would
us.
recommend it. It's what got me into anime.
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched like the first season back when it came out, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I have been missing an entire art form. I need to watch more of this.
Yeah, I was talking with my buddy. Like, I can't believe that show's been going on since I was in high school.
Dude,
and I've
that's
been
what
out
I
of
was
college
just about
for
to
like
say,
4
right?
years.
So isn't this which season is this? Like, it's got to be
Fourth,
Yeah.
technically the 4th season, but like the 3rd and 2nd season and this season have been like split into multiple pieces.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just time consuming to make, I guess, or
Yeah, I think there's a high like standard for the animation quality overall. It's part of it. They did change animation studios though for this season. It used to be Wit Studio who did Vinland Saga, which I also watched, which I'll talk about in a second. And then they switched to Mappa, who did Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think they're a little bit quicker overall, but still, like the bar for quality is just super high, so it takes a long time to make. That being said, you guys should watch Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is sick, dude.
It's on my list.
I want to watch that.
Viking anime, dude.
that's my friend keeps on recommending me the manga.
Yeah, I've heard the manga is like really good, and if I probably should just read the manga too because I like reading, but I really highly recommend the anime. It's just really fun, and like not a lot of Viking content that I consume that doesn't make me feel like a white supremacist or something, you know? Like it's cool, like this is just good Viking content.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I've been doing, which is behind me, but my chair's blocking it. I have a stack of books. I've been reading 20th Century Boys, which is a manga series. It's about like some kids that come up with like they create a document, like a book of prophecy for how they're gonna save the world someday, and then they like forget about it. That's like in the 70s, and the book kicks off in the 90s, and that shit is like starting to happen, and they've got to figure out like why that's happening and what the deal is, and it's
neat.
really good.
Very neat.
I like it a lot.
That's a cool premise.
Yeah.
There's an anime coming up soon called Chainsaw Man. And
fuck yeah.
Yeah, did you read the manga?
Oh yeah, I did, dude.
Yeah, me too.
I just finished it this month. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I will be really curious to see how they translate because the drawings just have this crazy kineticism to them.
Yeah.
Like, the lines
are
just
scratchy.
so scratching all over the place, and like there's feels like there's so much going on in this static image. Like I wonder how they'll be able to do that in an anime, you know,
I feel like it's probably gonna look a little different just because it's like it looked good, but it is like a 3D. I think they're using like CGI.
Oh, they're using 3D. Ooh.
Yeah, have you seen the trailer? It looks really good.
I haven't. I saw there was a trailer, but I haven't watched it yet.
Like the trailer, it looks really good, but I don't think it's gonna look exactly the same as the manga.
Yeah.
Manga.
Well, we'll see.
That's an awesome name for anything.
Chainsaw
Man.
Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man. I highly recommend everybody read that. It's way less weird than the author, the mangaka is
Fire Punch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up Fire Punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about Fire Punch on the podcast.
Have we?
Maybe. Fire Punch is weird though.
Yes.
Fire Punch gets really like just weird is how I'll put it. And I don't think Chainsaw Man ever reaches those heights, so I think it's a lot more palatable for like a mainstream audience. I think everyone that watches the anime will probably enjoy it. So if you want to read the manga before the anime, I recommend it. But yeah, that's about it. I swam like half a mile today. That sucked. I mean, it was a good workout, but that sucked. Yeah. So why don't we jump into the game, boys?
Let's do it.
Gentlemen,
I'm ready.
Fill the audio for a second while I pull up the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
Kody, here's your opportunity for your type 5. Stand up time, buddy.
Nice.
Oh, I was gonna ask Joe, how long did you play? How many hours did you put into this game here?
I put 11, according to Steam, I put 11.1 hours in.
Okay.
Nice.
And I would say a run, like a full run, took me 10 hours. I don't remember exactly, but I started a run and I stopped and restarted because I was like, I totally was wrong, you know, kind of starting the game out. Like I figured out how the game worked and I was like, okay, I need to reset and start over. So I think about 10 hours is what a run took me, and I did one run. That's it. So.
Nice. Casper, how about you?
I think I played around like 5 hours of the game. I never beat it, but
That's probably where I'm at too, around 5.
Yeah.
So.
I actually died a lot in that game, which was
I
cool in a
sucked at
way.
this game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was not doing good at this game.
I cranked the difficulty down to easy because I was getting really frustrated with those. we'll get into it, I'm sure, but those robot security guard dudes.
Or those spiky ones.
Well, just like any of them, like if you get hit by those, like they just pop out of the ground, and if you get shot once, you lose like I don't know.
They hit like a truck.
Yeah. So that part was making me upset. So I just cranked down easy, and I was enjoying a lot more after that. So I probably put about 5 hours.
I should have played it on easy. I was having a hard time, honestly.
I have so many comments. I'm so excited to talk about this game.
Yeah. Evan, how about you, dude?
Okay, and then I'll reveal what the game is since we're talking in like riddles right now.
I forgot to say that part.
I only played like 5 hours as well of this game. I found it really difficult, and I don't know if I really liked it that much. I always feel bad like when we play one of these games and I just like can't get into it. And like I said, I didn't have like a lot of time for video games anyway. So, but that being said, the game is Void Bastards. It's a science fiction first-person shooter developed by Australian studio Blue Manchu and published by Humble Bundle. It's comic themed, and it's a roguelike. And you shoot guys Doom style. It's very reminiscent of like classic Doom.
Right.
Just kind of walking through corridors and shooting guys.
Shooting sprites.
Yeah, shooting sprites. Yeah, everything is comic book themed in this game. So I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on the art style in general, actually. But
it's a good place to start.
So everything is flat except for the environments. So everything's sprite based, but the environments are like 3D corridors and stuff, and it's like just randomly generated spaceships, at least as far as I got, and like people that you shoot to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art style is a good place to start because I think that's, in my opinion, what this game does best is its presentation. I like the comic book art style, the cell shaded, like seeing trailers and stuff and screenshots of this game. It just looks like a very appealing game to like to run around in. You know what I mean? I think some of the things it does, like the cutscenes are like the comic book, like the stop motion. I think that's pretty smart, and I like that a lot. And then like I said, the cell shade, like the sprites of the enemies, I think that's always really cool, because games have moved so far past the need for that, but it's always cool when you see a throwback that has that. So I think the presentation of this game is really cool.
I think it's cool. I don't know if it's good. Is my thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's unique. That's how I was.
It's definitely unique.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely super unique.
How would you guys feel about the comic panel birder around the screen?
Dude, fuck that. That's what I was gonna bring up. I didn't like that. I was like, you can set it to dark. Did anyone do that?
I did that.
Yeah, because it was distracting.
Okay.
I thought it was a cool idea, but I really wish like maybe it starts like that and then it like disappears
and then it zooms in,
goes away.
Yeah. I would have liked
super
that.
Cool.
The fact that it like took off just way too much of the screen, I think annoyed me more than I liked it. You know?
Yeah, I found it was like static, and it just kind of felt like I felt like I was looking through a window, which I didn't like as a feeling.
I didn't even notice.
Took me out of the experience.
I didn't think I noticed.
Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I enjoy the art style. I really enjoy like the enemy designs. I really liked kind of looking at them. I thought they all looked kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But kind of like what Kody said, like there's few issues with the game, I think, and if I was to rank everything, like all the specific parts of the game, I think the art style kind of goes up top. It's one of the better parts of the game for sure.
Yeah.
And I personally loved the like comic book cutscenes, I guess is maybe how to phrase it. I really enjoyed those. Those were great. But yeah, the actual and I don't know if we want to talk about the actual design of the ships too, but
yeah, sure,
go for it.
That's something I definitely want to complain about is especially the bigger ships. Like the colors are great and the theming of each ship is great. Right. Like each ship has like a different theme, and I think the themes are good. But the actual like art of the ship and the design of the ship, I got lost like in these things. It's all samey and it's all corners and hallways and stuff, and it's a maze already. So I just kept getting turned around. I was opening up the map like every time I need to make a decision, right? Yeah, and you don't want to be doing that. Either make a bigger mini map and have the whole thing in the single mini map, or design your ships better is a thing too. But whatever algorithm is designing the hallway layout needs to do a better job, I think.
Yeah.
That's
I think the challenge with that is like they had to build something that kind of usually wrapped in a loop, like had to form a big loop.
Right.
Which is like a design limitation. But yeah, good God, they could have stood for more room variety.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yep.
Very
like every type of room should have had multiple versions of it, whereas every O2 room, at least I'm pretty sure, was like exactly the same. Every
right, it's the hallways that connects the same. Those are
the only things that can be different. Yeah.
The electric rooms. There are two like electric rooms. I know that. I'm pretty sure about that. One that goes down and one that goes up.
Oh yeah, you're so right. Yep.
Yeah,
there are.
But that's it. You're right. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, the rooms are. It's the same O2 room on every single ship, same break room on every single ship. Yeah, that is boring.
So it's interesting you mentioned, Joe, because each ship is supposed to be like in a class of its a ship type, right? So like you go on a med ship and it's like, the med room has like more supplies and all that kind of thing. But yeah, you guys are totally right. The hallways are what links and changes from ship to ship. So yeah, that is a problem. Because
I mean, it's cool that each ship had like a unique room.
Yeah,
it's trying.
But that doesn't make up for the amount of like cookie cutter shit.
Yeah. Like the game looks cool and it looks unique, but you see the whole game right away.
That's why I think
At least
that's
it feels that
probably-
way.
Yeah.
That's probably why me and Evan and Casper, I'm guessing like, okay, 5 hours. All right, I think I got it. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the art style probably has, or the ship design probably has like a lot to do with that.
Yeah. I just want to say, just like on the thread of the art style before we get off of it too, like I feel like they did a lot of stuff obviously to serve the comic book art style versus having the comic book art style like serve them. And like, you know, like the borders around the edge, like I really wish they just didn't do that. Like that's how I feel. And then the other thing that bugged me is I really thought the UI kind of sucked. Like when you were between missions, like I thought the text was really small, and like the buttons were in weird spots, and they weren't like super distinct that they were buttons because they were trying to look like comic book panels.
Yep.
And it just wasn't like it was trying so hard to be a comic book that sometimes it like threw away things that I think make like are obvious video game, you know, things.
Yeah, I was gonna play the game on my TV originally, but I just couldn't read all the like little font.
The text is so small.
It's really so I had to go back to my monitor because I just like I couldn't.
There's a lot of
see it.
You could lean
there's a lot
in
of
like
space
old
that
guy
isn't
style.
used. Yeah. Right, like
Yeah.
I'm picturing like, for example, the one with all the crafting stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's like half of it is just like the color blue or whatever, right? Like it's not being used in an efficient way.
The
You
complaint.
guys are totally right about.
And if they hadn't had like the AI character like point out the fact that there was like another crafting window in the top right corner that you could like switch to, never would have noticed in a million years because it just looks the same as everything else.
So did you find the bonus weapons then? Did you click on that panel?
Oh,
I don't think so.
There's
There's another weapons panel that has two. There's only two there. I assume they're going to add more at some point. But there's like a bonus weapons area, and there's just two weapons in there that are.
Maybe that's where they
bonus
stuck all
weapons.
the DLC weapons too, because there's a DLC for this game that I didn't play.
Oh yeah, that's probably
that
what
might
it
be-
was.
I don't have the DLC, so maybe.
Okay, because I bought the DLC. I have the Tina. I don't know. Tiny
Yeah,
Tina's not.
No, it's not Tiny.
That's the
Tina,
Borderlands
it's,
thing.
What is it?
But yeah,
It's the cleaning service or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that adds the DLC adds like a I guess those weapons, and then there's another, you know, some of the ships that would go around like the pirates and stuff. They'd be like going from place to place, and you could run into them. It's another ship like that that's like a cleaning service, and if you go in now, there's going to be they look exactly like the combat bots or the not combat but the like Protectron bots or whatever.
Yeah.
And they will run around the area cleaning stuff basically and like killing. They also I think kill enemies for you. But when they find you, it's a little weird because you don't really realize what's happening at first because it looks like they're spraying you with water, and I think they are just spraying you with water.
Yeah.
But it takes away your oxygen. That's what happened. They suck away instead of hurting you. It sucks away your oxygen. And so the first time I fought one, I was like, "Oh, it didn't do any damage to me. That's interesting. They must just be spraying me with water or something, right?" And then I think I must have had like half O2, and then I found another one, and it started spraying me again. So I didn't kill it. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm just gonna let it follow me around and spray me." And then I started choking to death, and I was like, "Oh, wait, what's going on? Where's the oxygen room?" Pull up the map, of course, because I have no clue where anything is. And
Right.
Did it make like a sound or anything?
No, not really. Until you start choking, then you start making a sound.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure I would recommend the DLC. I don't think it added all that much. There's another like the main class of ship that is that like cleaning ship too, and I think they have some, you know, there's certain types of items there or whatever. But yeah.
Oh, what did you guys think about like the boom, pow, like, you know, like the comic
Dude,
book
the sounds
letters?
and everything. Yeah, let's talk sound design.
Yeah.
Because boy, I tried to pay attention, and boy, was I disappointed.
Well, also we just mean like, you know how like it appears, like whenever a sound happens, like the
Right, like
happens.
it's an onomatopoeia or whatever.
Yeah. It was kind of
up.
weird. Like if you're on the other side of a door, you could hear, or it would say like floating or something.
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
it'd
right.
say like
Or
hover,
footsteps.
Hover,
right.
hover, or step.
Yeah,
kinda
squish,
weird.
squish, or whatever.
So,
like,
like-
enemies on the other side of the door.
I felt like that was like a sound design crutch. Like,
Right.
if they had better sound design, maybe it wouldn't have necessitated that, I guess. Like, I don't know. I thought it was weird. I thought it didn't really make sense. I found it really hard in general, too, to, like, echolocate the enemies. There wasn't a lot of locality to their sound, I felt like. Like, I couldn't imagine where they were in 3D space relative to myself, and
Right.
maybe that's like a AAA expectation. I guess I don't really know. It's not something I've thought about too much in other games, but I noticed that it wasn't here this time. Like I really felt like I could not tell if someone was behind me, if they were in front of me, if they were in a different room entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like they maybe implemented the like text on the doors as a way of locating enemies because the sound itself was not capable of conveying that information.
Interesting, yeah.
Okay.
Like it
Yeah.
definitely, just showed you, hey, like to me, how I use it was there's an enemy on the other side of this door somewhere in the room. The room could be, super massive, or it could be like a tiny, like mess hall or whatever. But there's an enemy in there or something.
Right.
Yeah, just a warning. And if you hear the tank footsteps, you just lock it real quick and walk the other way.
So
Yeah, the screws were way too buff. Oh my god.
But with the tech stuff, I don't know if this was intentional. It probably wasn't. It was probably an art style choice because they're doing the comic book thing. But if you are hearing impaired, that's probably awesome. Yeah. Right? It's like, oh wow, now I actually get to like be a sound whore in the game,
Right.
To some extent at least. But I don't think that was intentionally done for that purpose. But
Right. I liked the float-in text. Like, it's a comic book style. It's kind of cool. But now that you say it, Evan, it does kind of seem like it was a crutch because the sound design and stuff wasn't great. Like the voice lines for everything, whether it's the monsters or like the ships AI stuff, I couldn't really understand any of it. Like it was overly I don't know what it's called in sound design, but like overproduced. I don't know, like
noisy maybe is a good word for it.
Yeah,
right?
It was just hard to understand a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the game with speakers, and you guys are making a lot of sense because I couldn't really like the enemies themselves when they like say a voice line when they start attacking you. I don't know what the hell they're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like the voice lines at the beginning,
Right.
but then by the end, after I've heard the one of those little, the same voice line from the same enemy like 10,000 times, like I was like, okay, I wish there was 2 or 3 more voice lines.
That's the dangerous thing about quips, dude. Is quips can get very annoying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I like the music, just to stay on the thread of sound design. I did think that the music itself was pretty slapped pretty hard. It was pretty good.
That's true.
Did you guys feel pretty satisfied by it?
Yeah,
Honestly,
it was
can't
good
even
music.
remember
I'm
it.
not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I'm downloading the soundtrack and
Right.
listening to it on my own time. But for when I was playing the game, it was great. It was great.
Very
Very few
sci-fi,
video
yeah.
games where I do feel like I would download the soundtrack. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Everyone feeling good about sound? Let's talk about gameplay. Let's talk about the moment-to-moment experience of shooting these baddies.
Oh man, I tell you.
Yeah.
So for me, this was the weakest part. Like, this is
for
why I
sure.
didn't play it through the whole game. For a shooter, the combat was kind of bad. It was slow.
Yep.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I felt like the enemy bullets followed you. Like you would.
So-
move,
They may
and I
have. There
thought
may
they
be
curved.
one of them that does that.
Okay, it felt like most of them did that. Like you just it would follow you around a corner a bit.
So
Like not perfect, but like it would track you a bit.
Right. I feel like the game really wanted us to obviously speed through it, right? Like they wanted us to so the way I played the game, and maybe this is a good question for you guys, but I bum rushed it every time to the helm to get the map. That way I can see all the items, and then it's like, all right, now I can start the run, right? Now I can do the loop. So it feels like when Joe asked me when we first announced that we were doing this game, he asked me if I was taking a long time in each ship, right? And at first I was trying to check for items that weren't there because they glow or whatever, right? That they don't appear on your map. But eventually, it starts to click, like Joe mentioned earlier, and then you just start ripping through each ship. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it really wants you to go super fast, and then the time between each ship, I feel like takes a really long time. You want to just keep playing.
Right.
You go back to the screen where you have to decide where you want to go.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
hit, keep everything in my item, trash all the other items. That
Yeah, it goes through each one and puts them away, right? And it's like,
and it's like the time between. I'm trying to. I don't want to compare it every single time. Like, I don't want to talk about Hades every single time, right? But like for real, like if you think about Hades, that's time before you start a run, that's over, and then you're room to room to room, and you keep going, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to be a hallmark of a good roguelike, in my opinion, is, we're gonna keep you moving, right? Mm-hmm. If you have a roguelike where it's like FTL, that design kind of wants you to slow down and make a more FTL and Into the Breach, right? You're trying to think about things more often. But this feels like it's trying to be in two places at once. It's trying to be a fast paced one like Hades, but also like a slow and methodical one. So I really feel like its gameplay decisions kind of conflicted. So it's just, I get rid of like all the stuff between the ships pretty much, except for like you choosing where to go next. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like it shouldn't take, 2 minutes of stuff you can't really skip before you go to the next ship and start playing the game and shooting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I feel. But
yeah, holy crap! I don't know. I definitely wasn't just gone just now. But holy crap! Does the process of starting the next ship take so long? Like watching every little bit of the materials like go pa-dink, 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 pa-dink into your like inventory. It's just like, can't I skip this? Like,
yeah.
Did anyone bring up how limp the jump is? Homie jumps like he's got a club foot, and like there's no point for there to be a jump.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know there was a jump.
Yeah, you ever tried pressing the freaking space bar?
You can't jump over railings like at all.
You can't jump over railings. Why can't I jump over railings?
Yeah.
And you get stuck and you're getting chased by like 3 enemies, and it's not a good time.
It goes back to it, right? It wants you to go super fast and just rip through the ship, but then your character doesn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you can't dodge shots or anything. It almost feels like you're supposed to be the bullet sponge.
Yeah, I had a really. I'm glad you brought that up. I had a really hard time strafing around shots. It felt like the shots kind of homed a little bit. Maybe they didn't, and maybe I just play like a dumbass. But I was getting hit like I want to say like 90% of all bullets fired hit me.
That's why I had to turn the difficulty down, honestly, because I just wasn't having a good time. Like between each ship, I would just lose half my health, and I'm like, but I'm trying to strafe, and I'm missing my shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, in the actual enemy design itself, half of them just seem to rush you. It wasn't that interesting. And there's the whole tank too. But
what'd you guys think about the spook who disappears and reappears and shoots at you?
I hate him.
Yeah.
I hated that thing.
I hate that guy. That guy fucked my wife.
I think enemies like that in any kind of game like this, it's just there's no place for it, in my opinion. I don't think it's very interesting. It's just annoying, right?
If it's one, it's not a problem, but sometimes there'd be roomfuls of them.
Yeah, when there's 10 of them and they're all bouncing around.
Yeah. Like that's just terrible. That just sucks.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're not particularly powerful. Like, and I think like Kody was kind of getting towards that point. Like this game, like your character does not feel very tough ever.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that specific phrase, because I do have like a big comment as the only one here who finished it. That changes because I felt just like you guys. I felt like it was slow. I felt like I wasn't powerful at all. I felt like I wasn't scaling. And it probably was around like the 5-hour mark that all of you hit and all of you didn't get through, because I was thinking about stopping. I was like, I can't. But I knew you guys invited me on the show, and I was like, well, I got to at least finish one run if I'm going to go on the show, right? So I stuck it out for a couple more hours, but it started to roll. By the end of the game, I was powerful. Once you get some of the health upgrades, and once you get some of the upgrades along the bottom row of the kind of screen,
like the one.
And once you upgrade your weapons, and you're just like one-shotting, like by the end, that shotgun is just one-shotting everything basically. And I'm just running through the hallways, blasting tanks in the face, throwing explosives on their back, and then running away as fast as I can. Like you really do. It does pick up towards the end once you get all those upgrades. But that
is there a move speed upgrade?
I don't remember.
That does not bode well. That makes me think there's probably not.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Now, I think the only speed stuff you can do is when you drink the coffee in the break room, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
It's so
which is great.
It's so interesting, Joe, because you say all this, right? And like I'm trying really hard not to compare it to other roguelikes, but it's hard. I can't, right?
Well, I feel like that's fair. Maybe the way I would phrase my joy of this game, I guess, because I actually enjoyed the experience, even though I'm about to rip on the game for the next like half an hour to an hour. It was an enjoyable experience. I'm probably going to do another run at some point.
Okay.
Right. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But the way I'll phrase it is, it's an okay game, but I think it's a bad roguelike. You know, the time between missions is too slow. The scaling is all bad. The fact that a run takes 10 hours, you know, and the fact that you don't start rolling until 5-6 hours in, like that's not roguelike. But it's an okay game.
Because if I were to compare it, right, it sounds like this one has like a really slow and then like a logarithmic like build over the whole course of the game. Instead of every run, you have like mini spikes, like in Hades, right? Like, you know, you get random items and you're powering up in that run, and then throughout the whole of the game, you're also powering up outside of the run. Whereas this one, every single run you're going in with, you know, the pistol, and you're going with the same like items, I guess, but there's not enough variety to keep each character alive, keep it interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough variety per run. That is probably the what is on the tombstone for this. Why I think I didn't like it enough. Finish it.
One thing that I did like about the gameplay and that did add variety was the how each character had their own like problems or
the traits
never came up for me. The
traits
really did anything.
They're tiny little things for the most part, but I really enjoyed them. One of them was just like smoker or something, right? And so your character would just wheeze a little bit the whole time. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. One of them just makes you tall, and your camera just moves up by like a whole thing, and you have to like duck like down.
Well, it makes you short too, so you're just like way shorter than everything else.
And then you can scamper through those little vents a little easier. I like that.
It's like, but it seems like a half. Oh, sorry, Casper.
No, okay. I got one, and it actually screwed me over for pretty much the whole run. It was black and white. Like, that's all you could see.
Okay.
And color is actually kind of important for the game because, like, doors, if they're locked or unlocked, you can't tell.
Right. Yeah. The item container lights and
stuff.
Item
container lights, like everything. Like, I actually hated it. I made my character die because I just couldn't tell half the stuff. It was taking forever.
Casper was red-green colorblind for 45 minutes. He kills me. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Sorry, no, you go, Kody.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it seems like an idea it's good on paper, but they didn't really flesh it out super well,
right?
Because it kind of seems like an afterthought, right? Like, I get it from a narrative standpoint, like, oh, every character is like a prisoner who's done something like totally shouldn't be in prison for life and in the situation, whatever, and that makes sense that each run would have its own traits like that, and to that I would compare it to Evan, you played Rogue Legacy 1.
Yeah,
so like that is where like that is the foundation of the game, is that each character has its own genetic traits, and then you pass them on, and there's like a whole thing with that. That is like way more fleshed out, obviously. In this one just seems like an afterthought for sure.
I fully agree that it seems like none of the stuff, at least that in the couple runs that I did, because I kept dying, that they like really changed the gameplay up too much, right? Whereas like in Rogue Legacy, every child is a different class. It's like a huge change in how you play the game. Like they have different stats and different abilities, and then on top of that, they have these silly traits. And I just feel like the traits in this game were trying to be that, like the traits, but they weren't silly enough, or like it was without. It felt like lacks substance. Like it's a fun decision to make when you have like two barbarian characters in Rogue Legacy, and you pick between the one that's a lesbian and it doesn't do anything. It just says this character's lesbian, the one or that one that is nearsighted or something, and like that's kind of a fun play game to make. Whereas this one, it just like why a little bit.
Right.
So I've got two suggestions that might have improved the game a lot. One is where you're saying, Evan, maybe like, and this would take more time in between runs, which is something we're trying to avoid. But if you were able to choose from like, hey, here are the 5 prisoners we've got ready to go. Here's like a little bio on each one, and you pick which one.
They could vary more.
Exactly, it adds more variety. And then the next one would be like, you know, in each room, in I'll say Binding of Isaac instead of Hades, right? You get like one new item. So maybe like this might seem like an overstretch, but maybe like every ship you get something random that helps you, and you know what I mean, something that changes up your.
Yeah.
I didn't run into those genetic machines very often. It was like maybe one every 6 ships, and then like you were saying, it doesn't even do that much.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're spot on there. I actually like that idea. I think this style of game, but with a little bit of a faster jump between missions too, or whatever. There's a phrase for that in the industry.
Increase
like,
the pacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this type of game, but with a Binding of Isaac style like item system where you picked one up every ship would be sick. I would actually love that.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's just there's not a lot of like per run progression. It's all to service the next run, which I think is very like classic rogue. I feel like our 80 like riddled brains grown accustomed to these like these needing that stuff like per run. But I think like if you think about like Rogue, the game Rogue, like Rogue game, the only thing was that you started over from the beginning when you died. I don't think there even was any like ongoing progression per run carryover, but missing this like this feeling of progression. It I'm like I've got too sweet, and I'm like I'm zing for it. It's just not there,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you can have the randomness, like we're saying with the ships, I guess, even though when you get down to it, they're not even that random. But like, yeah, you need like that next step. Like, okay, the rooms can be random and the setup of the rooms, but you need that like next step where I'm random every single time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I really didn't like exploring the ships because there was just so much of the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was a
it was
chore
boring.
for sure.
Yeah.
Also, the gun points do much damage. The little turrets.
They're tough.
I would walk around a corner and just lose like 100 health, and you start the game with only like 400 at the beginning. So it's like, oh, nice. like my run is fucked.
Yep.
But all right. Let me pull up my notes and see if there's anything we didn't talk into from my notes.
What are the guns? The actual weapons themselves.
They were
I
cool,
liked
some
their
of them.
design and their thematic element.
Yeah.
The way they perform. Leave it. They just feel like guns. There wasn't. I didn't have anything that I felt like the gameplay.
Yeah.
I didn't get to level them up a lot. Like, this is more for Joe, but when you level them up, do they get a lot better? Like, really strong?
Yeah, especially the shotgun and the pistol, they get better. And those are kind of my primary guns that I went for with the shotgun and the pistol. But I liked what I think they were going for with all the guns is they were supposed to like match the enemy types almost. And so when you looked at your next ship, it would show you what enemies were going to be there and how many were going to be there. And that, at least for me, started dictating like what weapons I would take. So if there's the lady who puts a shield in front of her or whatever, if she was going to be there, I was going to take either the poison or the radiation darts because I can't get through that shield. So I would sneak around her and shoot her from the side and then just walk away, and she'll slowly die over time. And like if there was going to be a tank, I definitely brought the shock, like the taser gun, because then you can just taser the tank and run away from it, and that sort of stuff.
I feel like I didn't get far enough to make those kinds of informed decisions.
Right. They don't give you the tools from the start, and then you can experiment while you're
to
going.
figure that out. Maybe there needs to be more of a tutorial to explain some of that stuff. I don't know what to do to fix it, but
I think it's just
I think that's what they were going for,
or a pacing problem. I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think logarithmic curve was a good description of it.
Yeah,
seems start to get a lot of and do a lot of cool stuff in the back half of the game.
Right.
Yeah, because at the end of the game, I'm not visiting. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do. No clue. I should actually watch like a speed run or a tutorial or something like by the devs. But by the end of the game, I have fuel and food stocked up, and I'm sorry. And I'm getting bored, right? I'm just like playing this for the podcast at this point. And so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna skip ships. And so that's what I started doing. I would skip 10 ships. I would have like 12 food and 20 fuel, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get as far as I can to the next item, and then whatever ship I land on is what I'll do and get more fuel and food. And so that's what I started doing, and it got way better after that. I was like,
I
just skipping through the
show
world.
like a tooltip to say like you skip 10 ships, and like I
Right.
think they want you, but it feels fucking bad too.
It wasn't clear to me. Yeah, I felt like I needed to stop on every ship, and definitely in the beginning you need to, because you need to upgrade your shit as fast as possible because it sucks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the end, I was like, I'm just probably there are I guess, should we explain that? Should one of you guys explain that? Like, you're collecting items for this like company or whatever for the prison ship, and there's like 3 items you need to get for each kind of section. And if you collect all 3 items, then you get another little cutscene. And then I think there are 3 or 4 of those phases of you collecting the items, maybe even more. I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I just started bum rushing the shit out of those items, and it got a lot better. It got a lot better.
Yeah.
So near like the last hour that I played, Joe, I realized that was an option, because I'm like, oh, I kind of have an overstock of food and fuel, just like you said, and it just feels kind of wrong, because it feels like it wants you to go to every ship, but it doesn't want you to go to every ship. So you're just like in the middle.
I feel like I'm missing content. Can I do that? You
Yeah,
know?
right. Like, what if there's maybe if there was like a genetic thing in every single ship, it would make you think about it and say, okay, I could skip to the next item, but then I'm missing, you know what I mean? I'm missing helpful stuff that will help me later on. And I guess that kind of ties to. Oh, sorry.
No. You go.
I was gonna say, like, if we wanted to get into like the whole crafting system a little bit later, because that's something I had a problem with, was the crafting.
Let's definitely chat about that. The only thing I was gonna say, just before we get to that, is the genetic stuff and the pirate ship and the I feel like they're weird thing. These like moving pieces on the kind of boards, the ships. Why didn't they just stay put? That's my question. Like, they moved around a lot, and I never could land on the same time because they moved randomly. They didn't follow. I didn't follow a set pattern. They did.
Really?
I'm too dumb to observe the. But I never.
I don't think there's a pattern. That's surprising for me to hear, because I felt like I was always fucking them, and I was trying
never
to
single one.
Really?
I hit the pirates once, and then it triggered an event where they blew my ship up. And the game just was like, you lose, idiot, fuck you. And I was like, okay.
There's also like, if you accidentally, if you get torpedoes, if you run into a pirate ship, you'll just blow them up, and you won't even be able to see them. So that's something else too, where there's not enough unique events that happen, because like we're talking about now, there's probably only like 5 unique things that can happen on each ship. I guess if you get the DLC, there's sprayer cleaner bots or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
how much does the base game cost? Do you guys know?
I got it on sale like a couple of years ago, so yeah, I got no idea.
I think I got
Someone
free on
got Steam
Epic.
up already.
yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
You guys vamp. Casper, it's your 15 minutes. It's your 5 minutes, dude.
Like
My 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's $30 usually.
I was really
Holy
excited.
shit, this game
Wait,
is
30?
not.
Yeah, that's a little
really
expensive.
That's kind of priced for this game. I feel bad saying that, but
Yeah, I feel bad for indie games, because a lot of them can be long or like really good, and they should be more than what they're worth or what they cost.
yeah.
This game feels the opposite,
Yeah.
and it feels bad saying that, but it just wasn't. There wasn't enough to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
a good
didn't
phrase.
have enough variety in name of the game with roguelikes, so
Yeah.
yeah.
The trailer makes this game look really sick. There's like a ray gun.
I
and
bought
stuff.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was hyped to play this game. Maybe I got overhyped, and like that's why I'm kind of disappointed now.
Yeah.
Their marketing team was just really good.
So what were like the high I feel like we've been like dunking on this game a little bit, but there's got to be some like real high points for us, right? For like what we really liked about this game. I know we talked about the art direction. Is that really like kind of the main thing for everybody? Is what this game does bad? Does like presentation?
I do like the guns too. I like the guns. I like the variety of guns. I like once you unlock them all and upgrade them all. I think they're all pretty good. But not to get into the ripping again, but with the whole thing, like they're supposed to match them to the enemies. I don't feel like there was enough variety in the enemies to make that for that to make sense for the guns to be there. You know,
there's like a rock paper scissors element that I started to figure out. Like
I think they were trying to do that. Yeah, that.
But also, if you just shoot at things, they explode too. So like you can make a suboptimal choice. Doesn't feel feels mostly the same. I feel like.
And there are clear OP options. I think there are. Yeah. I think you run the pistol or the shotgun, and then you take the shock thing, the taser. The taser's like a requirement. You take the taser for everything because the taser just shuts everything down. You run it. You're running down the hallway and you run into a turret. Shoot it with the taser. And once you get the upgrades for the taser, it gets longer to like 10 seconds or 15 seconds.
That's plenty of time to run up and like hack or
right, literally. So that's what I'm doing. Whenever there's one of those combat bots rolling around, taser it. I'm sitting there for 2 minutes shooting it. Taser it again, shoot it. Taser it again, shoot it until it dies, which is not a fun gameplay experience. To be honest. But
like I feel like they wanted you to and this goes against what you just tried to do, Evan. We're talking about some positives, but
we can't.
It feels like it wants you to do like those problem solving skills and be like, oh dang, I just figured out something really cool. But there's not like when I found out that taser thing, I'm like, oh okay, I'm really smart. I'm really smart. This is great. Mm-hmm. But then you do it like 50 times, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yep. The shooting's boring, but the guns are cool. But one positive I can give you is as I was playing this game, one of my roommates is kind of looking over my shoulder watching me, and he's like, oh cool, what game is that, blah blah blah, and we start talking about it. He's like, it looks a little bit like Gunfire Reborn, which is another first-person shooter.
I remember you
roguelike.
plugging that game, or maybe Aiden, but I think it was
definitely Aiden because I had never played it.
Okay, my bad.
I had seen like Northern Lion play it like on stream or something, that sort of thing, and I was like, oh that's cool, but I'm probably not going to give it a try. But after hearing him saying, if you want a first-person shooter roguelike, try that one. And so I downloaded that game. Love it. Absolutely love Gunfire Reborn. That's a great freaking game. Yeah. I've done 3 hours now, and so glad. So I'm glad I played this game so that I could learn about that game and then actually have fun.
It's like when you have the girlfriend that's really so that you appreciate your next girlfriend so much.
Yeah, right. So that's my positive, is that it helped me find another game that I think I'm really gonna love. Gunfire Reborn.
That's good.
I'm basically a trauma survivor. That's so good. My only thing like where I was like, this game is really cool was like the first time I saw one of the enemies like transform into like oh it's a guy. And then he like turned into like something else. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like that was surprise. It's a nice little.
Oh man.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't think I've seen a dude turn into another dude.
No, the janitors walk around like normal, and then when you approach them, like start starting and they open their shirts or whatever and start shooting at you.
I guess so. I guess to
me,
it's
like a little transformation.
Like, right.
Yeah. I just thought it was nice. I don't know. I was like listen, guys. I'm really trying to laser in on something that I liked about this game. Can you not give me a hard fucking time?
Well, dude, that's the thing, dude. It's because I think all four of us see a lot of promise, right? It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It just
you guys were so close.
Right. This game could have been a banger, dude. That's all.
I want it to be good.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the story. I like the concept where like the prisoners are in bags, and every time you die you're literally dead, and the robot just rolls out another one and you're going. I like that. I think that's really clever. I prefer a roguelike that explains like why you're coming back every time. It's not, doesn't have to be, it's not a big deal, but like when they do it I appreciate it. And I thought I enjoy the story. I like how, I don't know how many of the iterations you went through of finding all the parts, but I love how you find all the parts and you're like, okay, this is the time, and then something stupid goes wrong, like, oh shit, like the machine's calculating too fast and that's a problem, so we have to go find some new part, and the guy hits himself on the head because he's like, oh, this idiot robot that I'm working for. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun.
The story humor was nice. I don't know if it was like super charming, like what it was trying to do.
I thought it was cute. Cute. I don't know if you want me to spoil the ending or not, but I can tell you how it ends.
Go for it.
Go for it. This show. Listeners are about to spoil this. Heads up.
Skip ahead like a minute or two.
Skip ahead, yeah.
But yeah, you do like 5 or 6 iterations of the parts, and you collect all the stuff, and then you literally just jump back to the mothership, and the robot has like a cute little thing. He like thanks you a ton. He's like, oh, we're gonna take like time off your sentence or something. But then because through all this collecting of the parts, you just broke like a shit ton of laws.
Right.
So then he takes away your sentence or whatever, and then he tells you all the laws that you just broke, and he's like, well, we're just gonna like vaporize you right now, and that's it. Like that's kind of the ending. The end.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, it goes back to what we're talking about with the Outer Worlds, where it's like funny, but it's also like really sad. Like there's a tinge of just
Right.
unbelievable darkness and sadness. to it.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is like satirizing the prison industrial complex or whatever.
Right.
It's like, you know, it's I like it. It is funny. I wish like that the characters had like, as far as storytelling, like I wish the characters had more personality. Like your character, I know and not to compare everything in the world to Hades, but man, it's cool when you're playing as a character that you think you like, or like that you have some connection to, and like contrast Rogue Legacy. You're a new character every time, but I am the grandchild of this other character, and it feels very dramatically. I don't know. I feel engaged with the character, and then with this, I just like had no attachment to my character ever, which hard for me to feel invested in. Not like the overarching like whatever narrative, like kind of the little story I'm telling myself as I play the game. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think a way they could have solved that or helped it a little bit was, you know, if you were able to choose your prisoner. Then
like,
you would
like
feel,
this is my boy. Yeah.
I would like that.
You view them as a tool in order to get to the next thing, instead of like there's something in between that the game is trying to do. We already talked about with all the genetic stuff, but yeah.
That would be cool. They could like have it be like a filing cabinet that pulls out, and then you kind of ruffle through them, right? And you pick
dope.
You look at their initial traits. That would be cool. I would like that.
All right, guys, we're in the mod, the any % mod. Where you get to pick. I don't know if this game has mod support. I haven't looked. Let's see really quick. Sure, it does not.
I don't even know what engine it's built in.
Unity. I think it's the beginning.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Don't quote me on that.
I don't think the game was really popular enough to warrant fans making mods.
Yeah,
you know, but like it's for that, because I feel like it's like a chicken and the egg situation. Make a moddable game, like you can grow a community based on the fact that people, you know, one really dedicated fan makes a cool mod, and then other people then check it out and they make mods. Like,
right.
You know,
You start a little community.
You can argue in either way, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, guys. That was quite the game. Should we do stamps?
Can I complain about crafting real quick?
Yeah, go nuts. You can complain about whatever. At least you get it all on the table really quick.
Well, so like I feel like you shouldn't have to craft the story items. I feel like that's kind of dumb. Am I crazy? Because then because you'll accidentally like if you have to get to that ship because that's where like the item is located or something. You find the item instead of having to craft it.
Do that twice or whatever, you know?
I guess do you get the blueprint on that ship and that's how you're able to craft it? I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
I guess that's a question maybe for Joe, I guess.
The persistence of the items is like super confusing. I couldn't tell if I was keeping between runs and what it wasn't.
I think you keep like items that you have made completely, but like the items that you get.
Yeah, the raw materials, I lose those between runs.
Those raw materials go away, or you lose like 50%
based on what you've upgraded. Maybe like if there's an item that lets you carry more between runs or something. But I love how we're
discording like the possibilities here for fucking biblical theologists. Just
right.
What tend here?
But I feel like there's two levels of the crafting, right? Because you get on a ship, you find all these random items, and then you break those down, and then you have to build those into parts. That you then have to craft into usable objects, right?
Right.
So I feel like there's something going on there, whereas they could have tightened that up a little bit. And
I think we can all agree the UI/UX just wasn't good.
Yeah. Especially around the crafting was rough.
Yeah. It wasn't clear like what crafted what, and like it's all the same like 3 or 4 like part type crafting material types or whatever. So I feel like I would build something and then not be able to build like the story item, and I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oops.
So now I gotta go and do more ship stuff, I guess. But
And I know it's a small thing, but it really started to piss me off towards the end, was the fact that to flip to the other like screen in the crafting menu, I had to move my mouse all the way to the top right of the corner every single time and click it, and then come all the way back down to click on the item, and then all the way back up to flip back, and then all the way back down to click on the gun. It was not... I was feeling it in my wrist.
That game, I can't believe... I unless I'm stupid, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't hit or space to move through those screens. Like there's no keyboard shortcuts to move through the UI.
Yeah, I don't think Escape did anything either.
Yeah, it's insane. Every time I wanted to, like, when they was doing that was and like putting the items away, I was like slanting just by please. I don't know. It's just like an instinct, you know. When you're watching like some animation and want to watch it, you know, it's kind of a standard feature, but it's definitely like a have that you can kind of skip through it, and you can't click anywhere to skip through it. Just having to navigate the UI. Oh my god, that was the worst part for me. Even worse than the gameplay. Whatever I was on the gameplay, it wasn't super great, but it wasn't awful. But the UX. Frustrated. That was the game that made me feel like frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I'm getting all heated just thinking about it.
Right, and it really does sound like we're just trashing this game for like an hour and a half or whatever. But
yeah,
it's just.
I think this is good though.
We eat praise onto video games. We're allowed
you guys are
to
usually
trash
so
episode.
good. That should be your title. Like, we finally hate one.
Today we chose violence.
I don't know if the creators will ever see this, but like, I don't think you did a horrible job. I just think, you know, I am going to play the game again at some point. I think there's a solid base there, but yeah, it's the details. The details are a bit lacking.
Yeah, I would love to play Void Bastards 2 if they make. I would play the fuck out of that.
Right,
100%.
sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll probably never see this, but didn't the Superliminal Twitter account retweet our video?
They liked. I don't think they retweeted it, but I think they liked it. Yeah,
I think they did.
Nice, you guys are moving up in the world. Look at that, you're pros. You're pros. Love it. Love it.
All right, you guys want to do stamps? I think we should do stamps.
Yeah,
stamps.
I gotta think of a good one.
Okay, I'll go first because I already have one. Ready? Picture in your mind's eye Void Bastards on PC. It's in that thick ass box that PC games used to come in. That I think maybe you can still buy PC games. Anyways, no one has a disc drive. And on the boom, style over substance. It's trying to. It looks way cooler than it is, dog. And I know that's already a cliche phrase, and it's not an interesting phrase, but it is an accurate phrase. Like,
agreed.
It is. Yeah. It just wants to be a comic book more than it wants to be a video game.
Yeah.
So. All right, who's up next? Who's got their stamp? Come on, boys.
I'll go last.
Okay, I'll go. Get rid of the comic border.
Fair enough.
I would say, like, just so close. You know what I mean? Because it's that's what makes me sad. Because it's got all the
title of the episode is so close.
This should be
Void
a
Bastards
game
close.
that's made for me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
In theory, like the comic.
Right, you're
book,
a big comic book nerd. Yeah.
Comic book theme. It's a roguelike. It's a shooter roguelike. It's like, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like my eyes are like popping out of my head.
Right. Awooga.
Yeah, exactly. But then, yeah, the nice trailer though. This trailer is sick. I want to watch it.
All right, Joe, you got anything?
Yes. I like how you guys do the actual stamping, so I'm gonna make sure I do that.
Oh
too.
yeah, it's only only the people that watch the video see that we do that. We do actually stamp the camera.
Stamp it. Yeah. Mine is probably going to be Play Gunfire Reborn.
It's an advertisement for a different game.
Sorry you bought this.
Yeah, that way when you see it on the box on the shelf, you can turn around and pick up the phone.
$30 too, man. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah,
of money.
How much is the DLC? Because I think I didn't do the whole Epic deal. I paid for it on Steam because I think I was excited like Kody too. I was like, this looks sick. Like, I'm gonna buy it on Steam. I'm gonna pay full price.
Access even like.
I think the DLC is $5 on sale for 3 right now. So
well, that's actually worth it. I think if you're gonna play this game, if you're paying $30 to play this game, you should pay the $5 to get the DLC too. I think that would be worth it.
Yeah,
because Hades is 25. I don't want to listen. I don't want to keep comparing it, but Hades is 25. That's all I'm gonna say, right?
If you really want this game, just get it on sale. I think it goes down cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a sale buy.
Yeah.
We should include that. Like, buy it on sale, or don't buy it. I think. Search in that.
Yeah. This one would be
Dear
a buy
listeners,
on
this
sale.
is a buy it on sale one. This
Yeah.
is a buy it on sale on a. This is
Yep.
buy it on a steep sale. This is buy it on 90% off. Sale.
Yeah.
For me, that's me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. If we, like every person on the panel like gave what their rating would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that as a rating better than like a 1 to 10.
Yeah. Right.
We'll have to. We'll on the next one, dear listener. You just Genesis of any percent in real time. That was great. What is our game? I picked it. We are playing.
It looks
Remind me.
cool. I
It looks
just
wicked
bought it.
cool.
The Shrouded Isle.
The Shrouded
Isle.
Yes. Playing the Shrouded Isle game is a bolt simulation game. It's like a management sim. I bought it when it came out, and then I just never played it. So I'm pretty excited to check it out. I think you can play it on PC on PC, and I think maybe Switch. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely on PC. On PC where we will be playing.
It's also $2 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know when this
Steam
episode's
sale,
gonna go out, but if it's still the Steam sale, that's $2.
When does the summer sale end? I don't even know.
The 7th of July.
Yeah,
It might go up.
Episode might go up
Maybe.
before then.
Maybe
Yeah,
Casper.
We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for doing this, for chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Of
I
course.
want to thank you to Joe, our lovely guest. We love having him on the show. It's huge.
Love coming out. Have I been on the show the most? I think it's me versus Aiden, right?
Yeah,
I think
for
Aiden's got
sure.
you beat right now.
All right.
unfortunately, for you.
Well, I want to take the crown. Okay, so
Hell
next time
dude,
you're talking
hell
about a
yeah.
roguelike or something, maybe you can do Gunfire Reborn someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it on my
Honestly,
wish list.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
looking
I
at
haven't
it.
bought it, but it's on the wish list.
Yep.
You can be on the show if you buy us all Gunfire Reborn.
I think it's multiplayer, so
Oh,
That's
is it
how
really?
Aiden's been doing it.
Should
Aiden's
play with
been
you guys,
like
too.
buying me pizza, and I haven't told you guys. I get him on the show. Joe, do you have anything you want to plug or anything?
no, nothing big at the moment. I'm not really working on any public projects or anything like that.
I will keep
nothing published.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the private. Stay tuned for Joe's.
Yeah, I'm starting an OnlyFans.
Hey,
Yeah.
dude.
Kody, Casper, thank you as always. Anyone want to say anything before we sign off? Because in about 4 seconds, I'm going to sign off. Oh, okay, I haven't said anything. Thank you, listener, for joining us. And this has been episode. What number is it?
20.
I don't think
Got to
said it
be
at
near
the beginning.
20 something.
I think 22.
Episode 22 of any percent. Thanks for listening.